Hi, it's me, Dan. So, I'm gonna be honest, I've tried to record this once before already. However, I was so upset and so mad that I started crying. I mean, my second video, and I'm already making tearful videos. Yikers. Well, I had a thing. Also, I'm sorry if my recording is really quiet. I have no idea how to change that and how to make it better, but it is how it is. Also, today I shall not be inside a blanket because it strangles me, and I don't want to die. So, that's just how it is. Today, we're gonna talk about my history teacher from hell. Such a clickbaity title, I know, right? Now, let me preface this really quickly. I respect teachers. I respect them. I have always been taught to respect them, and I respect the sanctity of learning. I will never, and you will never catch me disrespect a teacher unless they have disrespected me first and acted unprofessionally. And even then, I handle them with a lot of respect and a lot of regard towards themselves, because in my country, it is a privilege to go to school and learn and basically get somewhere in life. And you're always taught to respect your elders. That includes your teachers. Your teachers don't have to be here for you. They don't have to, but they are. So you should be forever grateful and not act like those asshats that come in to make a clown show of themselves. Okay? So this is in no way me hating on teachers. I respect them. I have always regarded them, and I will always regard them. And it's just mind-boggling to me that some people have such disrespect for someone who's trying to help you succeed in life. However, there are bad apples in every single group, such as my history teacher in college, or my art teacher in high school, or my teachers back in my country, who, although I was taught to respect them, they never respected me. So, let us get into this mess. Now, I am a studious student. I love studying, I love learning, and I just enjoy getting good grades as I care about my future. So, I am usually an A average. Maybe sometimes I get B's. God forbid I get a C, I'll start crying. Except for in math. Fuck math, right? And I excel in most of my academic studies, especially the ones that interest me, such as history. Now, here in England, you finish high school at 16, 15 if you're me, and you have a birthday later on in the summer, and start college or an internship or apprenticeship that September after you graduate. So, I got in my high school exams a 9 in history. That was, God, that was my highest grade overall of all of my grades. And if you don't know what a 9 is, imagine it like this. If a 4 and a 5 are a D, a 6 is a C, a 7, 8, no, a 7 is a B, an 8 is an A, and a 9 is an A star. Now, a 9 is the highest grade you can get. There is no 10. And I got that in history. Now, when I went to enroll in my town college, I wanted to do psychology, chemistry and all. However, I did not have high enough grades to do chemistry. Therefore, I picked psychology, computer science, and art. However, the person that was counseling me was like, hey, so see how good you did in history? I think you should drop art because art is not a befitting subject of a student with an intellect like you, and it will not take you anywhere, not much less farther. And I, as a dumbass, said, okay, sure, even though I never wanted to do history in college. But after I did so well, and I enjoyed learning, I enjoyed listening to historical documentaries and YouTube videos, obviously. But I just didn't mesh well with this. And I just don't want to. I hate writing essays. I hate the pressure of it. I hate remembering dates. But it's all fun and stuff to remember facts, right? But I said yes nonetheless because I thought, oh, this person that is advising me knows better than I do, blah, blah, blah. Oh, how wrong I was. Then came the issue of actually enrolling. The first fucking day, we had to do a 500-word essay. And I did. Mind you, at the time I was going through a move, and we were moving into our current house. So I was writing, I took my time writing that fucking essay, right? Because I wanted to make him proud. I wanted to make my teacher understand that I am a good student beyond my grades in high school. So then I emailed him my essay, and this is what he had to say. Right, as a thing before I start reading it, we're going to refer to him as Duke, like a king, but a duke. Don't ask, that's just what we're going to call him. Then, I expected more from this first submission. It is poorly constructed and feels incredibly rushed, which is disappointing as you are very strong in your classroom contributions and you have time to form a strong response. Paragraphs need to be more than one sentence and should be themed. I would like a big improvement the next time. Right. I write paragraphs that are longer than one fucking sentence. I actually am known for writing paragraphs that are running on and don't split. I also separated my themes, but linked them at the beginning of the paragraph, so then they'll be linked to each other because they are. How Luther influenced Tyndale and how it all influenced the beginning of Protestantism. But no. Apparently, this asshat, can't read. So then I took my essay because I was so sure that I did great. I took my essay and I gave it to a history teacher, and they said, oh yeah, this is an A. My teacher gave me a D. A D. A D. Can we just... Right. Beyond that, I just thought, oh, maybe I did a bad job. So then we had a 1,000-word essay. And, like, right the next week. And mind you, the 500-word essay, we only had a few days to prepare for. Especially at the beginning of the school year. So, now I have another essay due, and I do it, and I try my best. A D. Again. And this time he's roasting me more, saying I sucked. Like, how can you tell somebody that you say is doing great in your classes and basically, like, guilt trip them into feeling like shit just because you didn't like their essay? So then I did the same thing. I took my essay to another teacher and they said this is a B. Huh. You say a B, huh? Not a D. So And mind you, at this point, getting D's is normal and getting C's is fabulous. But I'm getting A's and B's in all my other classes. But just in this class I am failing already. And that's unacceptable because I beat myself up over every single bad result I ever get. So then, we're just gonna speak about this topically, because if I don't take it by topic, I'll get so mad I'll probably give myself a migraine. Also, about the art and the background, I am drawing something more edgy because I feel upset. So, that's the explanation for why she's crying along with blood dripping and stuff. I hope that you guys don't hate it. People were like, "Oh wow, this is edgy," and I'm like, "Yeah, because I feel like shit." So, we'll take it by topic. First of all, he is disrespectful towards disabilities and people that have anxiety. He once came into the room and said, a second year came in to ask me to change her predictions today, but she wouldn't look me in the eye, so I said no. Not looking in somebody's eye when you speak to them is disrespectful. I'm gonna let you take a few moments to take that in. Not looking in somebody's eyes is disrespectful. If you don't know, second years are the last years in college, and they need good recommendations and good predicted grades to get into the universities they want to. And this man, this absolute moron, ruined this girl's chances of going to the university she wanted because he didn't give her the predicted grade she needed. And she can still get in it, but it will be much harder, and it's not guaranteed. Because if you have a good predicted grade, they reserve you a spot. And then after you get your grades, they look through them, and if you did well, then they allow you to enter. However, if you don't have the right grades predicted, you come in with your actual grades and hope that they still have a space for you. What he did was cruel and probably jeopardized that girl's future career, and future academic life. Ugh. So then, he took me outside for something, I don't remember. And mind you, taking a student outside is the dumbest shit ever, because guess what? The whole classroom goes quiet so they can hear you, which they can. But I'll go more into that. And basically, he kind of chastised me, and for something I did, I don't remember. And then said, "Oh, you should look me in the eye more. It's not respectful." Now, for those of you who don't know, I have Tourette's, anxiety, and autism. I have Asperger's, right? And I hate saying that. I hate saying that so much. And my school and my teachers know this. They know this because they've been briefed about every single student that has mental health issues and other such problems. And yet, one of the symptoms, or I guess habits, of a person that has autism is not making eye contact. And he knows because it was described and he was briefed. And yet he told me that I'm disrespecting him by not looking him in the eye. Next thing, I get tics, especially in class, especially when they also don't mind the gasping. That's some of the tics. Especially in classroom when I'm trying to concentrate and I can't because it's too quiet, something triggers me, or whatever. And I swear a lot. I think that's called apropholia or something. Only 1 to 10% of people with Tourette's actually have it, and that's when they swear, and I have it because I'm unlucky. And I sometimes swear in his class, or if somebody says something and that triggers me, I will repeat it. Now that something could be anything, any word, which is as you can think, not nice. and absolutely bonkers, especially because somebody could say anything and it could trigger me. It could. Not saying it would, but it could. And then what? I'm repeating whatever word you just said. So most of the times I ask my friends to be careful with the stuff they say around me. But my teacher makes mistakes when he speaks. Everybody does. But my brain latches onto that and I repeat it, and he thinks I'm mocking him. And then people in my class, which most of them are dudes, so go figure, just make fun of my tics, saying it sounds like I'm moaning, which, mind you, it's not like that. A lot of them sexualize it, a lot of them fetishize it, and a lot of them make fun of it, which is hard, especially when your teacher doesn't give a shit. He also takes me outside the door and talks about my tics, and he damn well knows we can hear him through the door. He knows that people can hear him telling me off for my tics. And mind you, most of my classmates don't know that I have tics because I don't want them to, because it's none of their business. And him taking them, like, talking through that door, not even waiting for me to be done after class, basically he's telling my whole classroom that I have autism, that I have Tourette's, that I have anxiety, that I have issues that they don't need to know about. Right. Next point. Sexism. Now, in most of my classes in college, it is mostly guys, as I take very male-oriented fields like computer science and history. And a lot of those guys are very misogynist, and they make jokes about, oh, I'm a feminist and stuff. And that's the thing. I am fine with you making a joke, a goof, and a gaffe. But there's a point where you take it too far. And that too far is making a sexist joke every 5 minutes, every day of every single week, of every single month, of every single year that I have been in that class. It gets old when the boys around you say, I'll never have a woman in my party. They don't know how to do politics or whatever, which is fine. Or I hear them whispering sexual stuff about me that I don't want them to. Like, and I've stopped wearing the stuff I like wearing to school, which, mind you, there's not a dress code other than don't wear stuff that says offensive words on it. But that's literally the only dress code we have. But I stopped wearing crop tops. I've stopped wearing tight tank tops, tight t-shirts, tight tops. When I have class, when I have history, and I started wearing baggy sweaters, baggy stuff, because I want them to stop looking at my body and seeing me as some sort of pinup model, because I'm not, and I'm not there for them to get their rocks off about me. And what does my teacher do? When she hears them, he laughs. He laughs at all of it, which is, it's so shit, because he's supposed to be here to protect us and protect me and protect girls and boys against such horribleness, and yet what? He doesn't. And I understand a lot of them might be joking, but there's a point where a joke can be taken too far and make people uncomfortable, and I've told them to stop, but they haven't. Now, this incident that I'm about to tell you hit home how much my teacher does not give a shit about his female students. There's this girl in my class, and we'll call her Florence. Florence is very attractive, and she's very hot, like 10 out of 10. Now, Florence wore a cropped sweater, and she reached out behind her to pick up something she dropped, and in the moment she did that, she stretched, and the bottom of her cropped sweater rose over her boobs and got stuck on the top of her bra. Now, when she rose, her boobs and bra were all over the display, and she did not recognize it. Because why would she? You wouldn't expect that your shirt has risen so far up your boobs are showing. And you could hear the boys chit-chattering about it and basically making a big deal. So I said, Florence, And she's like, what? And I'm like, look down. And she did, and she's like, oh my god. And I'm like, yeah. And then she pulled it down, and she's like, thank you. But then the thing is, behind me, all of the guys, which there were many, started booing me, calling me a joy kill, saying that, like, I'm a prude, that, like, I shouldn't have told her, which is like, why would you do that? Why would you not tell them? Tell a girl that her boobs are out and that she's being stared at by disgusting teenagers. Right? And I know that if I was in that same position, they would do the same thing. Which is absolutely revolting. It's revolting. Then it's the last and my biggest issue with him. Bias towards grading. So in the beginning, I told you about how he kept marking me very low, but other teachers that I took my work to, which you can, ask your work to be remarked, but it doesn't go on the website where your report cards are. They have said, oh yeah, this is a great essay. My other teachers in my other classes have said I write beautiful essays, and yet my history teacher is out here shit-talking my essay writing for no reason. And this might seem all petty to you, but this made me so depressed that I stopped doing all of my work. I stopped caring because I thought, oh, no matter what I do, I'll never be good enough for him. I'll never be good enough for anything because I slaved away at essays. I spent hours upon hours revising so I could make him proud. I had a chance to leave and I stayed because I thought I could put up with it and make him see my value, but he never did. And I was a dumbass for staying and for in that course and not leaving when I had an earlier chance. And I regret it. And I don't regret many things in life, but that I regret. And I regret ever agreeing to that dumb advisor that told me art is not a real subject. Because guess what? I took 3 experiments. I took my essay to my psychology teacher, who was also a history teacher, and I said, oh, I know you're a history teacher. My friend is nervous of handing in her first essay because she just switched subjects. Can you look over it, please? And she did, and she said, tell your friend good job. This is an amazing essay for her first time. A. It's an A. He marked it as an E. Then I swapped essays with somebody. My friend who gets straight A's in history and takes Latin and English, so you can tell she's pretty good at writing essays in English. Mind you, English is not my first language. I am an immigrant here. And still, I write great essays. Whatever he's on about, he's wrong. And so we swapped. Massive props to her for letting me do that, because I would have ruined her scores otherwise if I didn't have good essays. But she thought my essays were brilliant. So I wrote an essay, typed it up, printed it out in one font. She wrote an essay, typed it up, and then wrote it in the same font, same everything. We swapped them. And she turned in my essay, I turned in her essay. My essay got an A. Her essay got an E. An E. And she gets straight A's. And you can say, oh, maybe she was bamboozling you. Then she took her essay to her teacher and said, oh, I wrote 2 essays on this actually because I didn't know which one was better. What do you think? And then her teacher said, oh, the other essay is also really good. It's about an A as well. And then I took my final test. My friend, who has been great at this, took an essay I wrote and handed it to Duke, basically saying, I'm late in submitting this and I'm really nervous. Can you check it over really quickly before I hand it in? I want to see if I made any mistakes. And because it was his break, he did it quite quickly, which is isn't like showing of anything. Like, he could have made a mistake, sure, but not as big as a mistake as he would have. Like, if it's a C and you give it a D, then that's like fine because you're marking too fast. But he gave me an A. And then I handed in that essay like days prior, but he obviously didn't read them yet, and I got a D when he gave it an A to my friend. Now, I don't know if this is conclusive of him being biased, and I don't know why he would be, but that is what my results of my tests have shown. And now I have changed my courses to something I want to do. And I need to give you a piece of advice the size of Manhattan, which I don't think is that big. I don't know. I don't know US geography. Basically, don't be a dumbass like me. Do what you want to do. Don't do something because somebody else told you you should do it. Don't do it for your friend. Don't do it for a family. Don't do it for a teacher. Do it for yourself. If you don't like accounting, then don't take accounting. If you have a passion to be a dancer, a PE teacher, a PE person that plays sports, an artist, a musician, anything, then do it. That is your passion. And you shouldn't... What are you going to do? Take mathematics in college when actually you want to do dance, fail maths, do great in dance, and then what? You wasted your time on something that you didn't even want to do. Good job. And there's one thing that you really wanted to do only took like a third of your time. Don't do stuff for other people when it comes to your future. It's yours. Your future, and nobody else gets to decide that. And don't fuck up like I did. Nobody should. You shouldn't do what I did if you can help it. Right. So I'm sorry if I got still a bit mad in this, but God, this really lit a fire under my ass, and I got so mad. But this time at least I didn't cry. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you liked the speed paint, and tell me how you feel about this story in the comments. Bye!